Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about this frontal system which will be producing snow this morning in the northeast, as well as what will be coming afterwards, since we have been seeing some changes in the models. So let's get right on into it, starting off with the National Weather Service page. Right now we do not have many winter storm warnings besides in southern Texas, where areas could be seeing freezing rain. Then we also have some winter weather advisories in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, as well as Virginia, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And I fully expect those winter weather advisories to be extended into New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, as well as parts of Massachusetts. Eventually, probably tomorrow morning, so that will be changing pretty soon. So, we also have winter storm watches in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, and that is for the next system, which has become less impactful, but can still produce heavy snow and freezing rain in parts of the south. So, let's start off here with the NAM 3-kilometer model, and we are seeing here our frontal system producing some snow in Arkansas, as well as some thunderstorms in parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, but overnight tonight that will start to move more into the snowy side. So the severe side yesterday evening into the snowy side Thursday morning. So we see snow moving into areas such as Kentucky, southern Ohio, parts of West Virginia. Now, albeit these areas started out as rain and are now switching over to snow, so those snowfall totals are not going to be as high, since the temperature is going to be above freezing before and then below freezing during the snow event. Therefore, you will have surfaces that are warm enough to melt the first layer of snow. And depending on certain areas where you guys have been seeing warmer temperatures over the past 12 to 24 hours or so, we could see that melting taking place for the majority of this event. And I believe this is what the NAM is starting to pick up on as the storm starts to move into New England, where they got up to 45 degrees over the last 12 to 24 hours, and some areas will be seeing a lot of melting. Now, especially along the coastline, you could see plenty of melting from this as we switch over, and the Northeast is the most important area for this. Not saying that other areas aren't important, but just based on timing, this storm will be moving through the Northeast during the morning rush, whereas in the Ohio River Valley, as well as in the South, it will be moving through overnight, which gives the crews time to treat the roads, plow any excess snow. But in the Northeast, there has to be some planning ahead and putting down salt and sand on all the roads. Then you have plowing, because this will be happening overnight where the temperature is cooler, and potentially you start to see some accumulation a little bit earlier, since you already have that temperature dropping a little bit, and then the cold front comes through and just makes that drop, that difference per hour, much more, deep. So a deep drop off, flash freeze possible there. Then the system moves out, and we see some snow stick around in areas such as Virginia. So a little bit of extra snow there, and then a low pressure forms off the coast, and there you go. Maybe some freezing rain and sleet along the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina, as well as some snow in parts of North Carolina as well. But you also have here in Texas, where you could see a constant freezing rain as a wave of moisture moves off the coast. So overall, let's take a look at our snowfall. Whereas in the Northeast, right now, it's really not showing much, but I'd put most of them in the 0 to 3 inch range. Some areas could see 2 inches. Then, in the Mid-Atlantic and the Ohio River Valley, I'd also put you guys in that 0 to 3 inch range, even though there could be some areas that see 4 or 5 inches, general 0 to 3 there. Then when you have that freezing rain, which is going to be very impactful, especially along the coast of the South, as well as in Texas, where you could see a lot of freezing rain in a fairly short amount of time. Right along the coast here, such as Wilmington, North Carolina, you could see an inch of freezing rain. just as a reference point, a quarter of an inch of freezing rain already adds so much weight to power lines, electricity poles, as well as trees that will be knocking those over. An inch of freezing rain is devastating. No traction at all on the roads. I wouldn't even pretend to drive on a road covered in an inch of ice. Then you have trees that are so heavy that they'll just start collapsing under their own pressure at that point, as well as any sort of wind pushing up against that. The roots of a tree would not support that. So uprooted trees possible, power lines down, electricity poles down across this entire region. So from Georgia into areas such as Charleston, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, areas like Wilmington, North Carolina, the Outer Banks, could see heavy freezing rain totals, and that will be impacting you guys through the rest of this week. Then you also have in Texas, areas could be seeing over a half an inch of ice, so same deal there. Now, looking ahead to the future, after this storm system moves through, and then we see that next system move off the coast, and there is the potential that this storm shifts to the west or strengthens, and then we see areas such as DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, southern New England, and Boston see some snow, but now we're seeing a much weaker storm system here, so I wouldn't expect anything more than an inch in those spots if it happens. But after that, we do see the cold move back in, and we do see a clipper system move into the country. That does wear out pretty quickly, and then another system here in parts of the Northeast, and then a low pressure in the south, which could bring in some snow. But of course, this is next week, so that is kind of making things a little bit difficult to forecast out. But general patterns here, I think we're going to see a nor'easter or some sort of impactful storm in the Northeast in between now and the beginning of February. According to the latest model guidance, I think every single model run, or at least most of them, have shown at least a nor'easter happening in the next 2 weeks. So that's what I've been picking up on. Of course, that can change with time, but that's what I'm looking for right now. But that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.